Okay, first video, simplifying expressions. The first thing to look for is what type of question do you have? Is it an adding and subtracting question? Is it a multiplying question? Or a dividing question? And we're going to go through all three types. Okay, so when we're adding and subtracting, we're all about like terms. And this is only for adding and subtracting. So like terms have the same variable or pronumeral, and that is a letter, and that has the same power. So if I look at the 3x squared, a like term could not be this 3x over here. That's because this x doesn't have a power of 2. So some of the like terms of 3x squared are the negative 4x squared and the x squared. They all have an x that is squared. Doesn't matter about what number is out the front. So 3x squared take 4x squared plus x squared. We could work out the answer for that. It'll actually end up being 0x squared, so 0. But we can add them up like 3 bananas take 4 bananas plus 1 banana. And we could think of all the other letters on the page as apples and pears. Looking at the 4y, like terms of 4y, we've got negative 6y and 42y. So if we had 4y plus 42y, we'd get 46y. Take away 6y will get us to 40y. So we have 40 y's on this page. Okay, next like term we'll look at. Okay, the next like terms we're going to look at are our normal numbers 1, negative 5 and 8. So these don't have any letter or power, and they can only go with each other. We can't mix them up with the other terms. So for example, 3x squared plus 8 just stays 3x squared plus 8. You cannot write 11x squared because there were only 3x squareds and a normal 8. Looking at 3x and minus 2x, they both have an x with no power, so they are like terms. So adding and subtracting questions will look a little like this. So we have the first one here, 4x plus 6x. So that will give us 10x. And that's the final answer because all we're doing is simplifying. Over here we have 8x take 6x. And that gives us 2x. Now for these questions you can't write x into the calculator. There is an x on there, but it doesn't understand what you're asking it to do. But you can use the number at the front and type in 8 take 6 equals 2, and then just remember to add an x on the end. That seems silly for this one, but for a question like negative 14 take away negative 17, you will get negative 31, I hope. And you could use a calculator to help you that would be negative 31 x's. Okay, so let's look at this big question down the bottom here. We have two like term groups. We have normal numbers and we have x's, and so we're going to put those together. First of all, we're just going to look at the fact that this is a plus 13, even though it has nothing at the front, that means plus. This plus sign is in front of the 5x, so it goes with the 5x. This negative sign is with the 21, and this plus sign is with the 3x. So don't get confused and think that this negative sign is part of the 5x. Okay, it's always what's in front of it. And I'll just rub out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a different colour for my x like terms. So my purple ones, 13 take 21. This could be a chance if you needed to check with your calculator. So we get negative 8 for the normal numbers. We have plus 5x plus 3x, so that will give us plus 8x for the x's. Okay, so now looking at multiplying, completely different rules. Don't need like terms, okay? Alright, now on here that means times. So in our first one we have 4 times 5y. Now the extra step that you don't need to do when you're working out but can help you understand. This is 4 times 5, and 5y means 5 times y, so it's like this. So the 5 is not really stuck with the y. This is all timesing. 4 times 5 times y. So 4 times 5 is 20, and we have a y at the end. So you don't need to do that middle step, but it can help to understand with something like this second one. This is 9 times A times 3 times D. So 9 and the 3, 9 times 3 is 27, and remember we are multiplying. And A times D, we can't do that, we don't know what they are, but we can write them without the times symbol because that is simpler. We are simplifying. In this one we have 3 times x times 5 times x, sorry about the time symbols. 3 times 5 is 15. And xx, we don't write xx. If we have two letters the same, we write that as x squared. So if you had b times b, that is b squared. Just like 3 times 3 is the same as 3 squared, but we would just say that's 9. Okay, our last part of the video is dividing. There are two parts to dividing. There's your normal numbers, which you do division, or you simplify the fraction. And then there's looking to see if you can cancel out any letters. So in this first one, my normal numbers are 90 and 10. 90 divided by 10 is 9. And we have an x there. There's nothing else on the bottom, so the x will just stay there, so we get 9x. In our second one, our normal numbers are 15 on top and 5, so 15 divided by 5 is 3. We do have a bunch of letters here, so what we need to look out for is that there is a b on the top and a b on the bottom. They are going to cancel out because anything divided by itself, so just like 6 divided by 6, that equals 1. And timesing by 1 does nothing, so we can just cancel these out, we don't need them anymore. And we end up with an A and a C. Okay, for our last question, what might be interesting with that one actually, if we had 15 A, B over 5 B, C, what would have happened is the B's cancel out. 15 divided by 5 is 3, but we're actually left with a C down the bottom. So that would have been the answer. Oops, and an A up the top. So it doesn't always get rid of the fraction completely in that situation. Okay, let's look at this last one over here. 8x divided by 3x. 8 divided by 3. Can't quite do it, so I'm going to leave it as a fraction. I could write the decimal, but it's probably pretty yucky. And we can cancel out the x's because there's one on the top and one on the bottom, so there's no x in our answer. Thanks for watching.